You never know when that dusty heirloom might turn out to be Roadshow gold. Today, we're counting down the top 10 Antiques Roadshow Holy Grails, those jaw-dropping appraisals that left owners and viewers speechless, and what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. I'm Josh Levine, your antiques-addicted host, here to share some of the greatest hits from PBS's Antiques Roadshow and a few legendary finds beyond the show. From a tattered blanket worth a fortune to flea market finds of a lifetime, these stories prove treasure might be hiding in your attic. We'll see record-breaking appraisals, amazing historical artifacts, and follow up on a few "where are they now?" outcomes. Grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover some extraordinary valuables. Number 10, Frederick Remington portrait and letter. $600,000. On a 2014 roadshow stop in Birmingham, a guest brought in a portrait of her great-grandfather, and it came with a surprise. The artist turned out to be Frederick Remington, famed for Western art, and the lot included a personal letter from Remington to the portrait subject. Appraiser Colleen Fesco about fell out of her chair as she appraised the painting and letter combo at $600,000 to $800,000. The stunned owner had no idea Grandpa's painting was by such a legendary hand. What happened after? The owner presumably got that piece insured very well. The value was so high that in later years they updated it even more. To our knowledge, the Remington portrait hasn't gone to auction yet, likely still a beloved and now carefully guarded family treasure. It's a roadshow classic, someone's inheritance casually hung on the wall, turns out to be by a master and worth more than your house. As they say on the show, are you sitting down? She sure needed to when she heard the number. Number 9, Alexander Calder Mobile, $1 million, updated. Not all $1 million roadshow finds are old paintings. Some are modern art mobiles spinning above the couch. In 2010, a woman in Miami Beach brought in a mid-20th century hanging mobile by Alexander Calder, the famous sculptor. Back then, appraiser Chris Kennedy valued it around $400,000 to $600,000, noting it could retail for up to $1 million. Already huge money. But the story doesn't end there. By 2021, with the art market booming, the Roadshow revisited this mobile and updated its value to $2 million retail. Imagine that. The mobile's value doubled in a decade without the owner lifting a finger, except to dust it carefully, I hope. She was probably extra cautious about any breezes in her home after hearing that. The Calder Mobile has not been sold at auction as far as we know. Likely the owner is holding on to it, enjoying not only its kinetic beauty, but the satisfaction that it's her personal gold mine gently swaying from the ceiling. Antiques Roadshow lesson. Today's quirky art piece could be tomorrow's $1 million masterpiece. Number 8, 18th century Qing Dynasty Jade collection, $1,070,000. Here's one that had the appraisal audience gasping. In Raleigh, North Carolina in 2009, a woman brought in a collection of carved jade pieces from the Qing Dynasty, 18th century China. They were delicate, translucent white jade objects that her family had passed down. Appraiser James Callahan's estimation, $710,000 to $1,070,000 at auction for the set. That's over $1 million for some tabletop knickknacks, except these knickknacks happen to be imperial quality jade carvings. The owner's reaction on air was utter disbelief, understandably. Post-show, we didn't hear of a sale, so she likely kept the collection, but you can bet it's now stored like crown jewels. Fun epilogue. That appraisal was one of the highest in Roadshow's history at the time. The Jade set joined the show's exclusive $1 million club. And if the owner did eventually sell, given how Chinese art prices have climbed, it might have fetched even more. Either way, she definitely gained a new appreciation for Grandma's pretty jade curios that had been sitting in the china cabinet. Number 7, Boston Red Stockings Baseball Archive, $1 million, sports fans. This one's for you. In a 2014 New York City episode, a guest unveiled an heirloom from her great-great-grandmother's boarding house, an 1871 to 72 Boston Red Stockings archive, including some of the earliest baseball cards and a letter from the team. These weren't just any players. The Red Stockings later became the Atlanta Braves, and their roster included Hall of Famers. Appraiser Layla Dunbar's valuation, $1 million for the collection. And when she heard that number, the owner's jaw hit the floor. So did mine watching at home. It was a roadshow record for sports memorabilia at the time. After the show, there was buzz that institutions might try to acquire it, but as of today, the set remains in the family. And get this, the owner said it had been stored in a closet for generations. I love the thought that for 140 plus years, her family had unknowingly safeguarded baseball's holy grail. Safe to say it's no longer in a shoebox in the closet. Hopefully it's in a bank vault or museum on display. A priceless win for Antiques Roadshow and baseball history. Number 6, Chinese rhinoceros horn cups. $1,500,000. When Antiques Roadshow stopped in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2011, one gentleman brought perhaps the show's most exotic treasure, a set of intricately carved rhino horn libation cups from the 17th to 18th century. He had collected them over years for a few $1,000s each and had no idea he was sitting on a fortune. Appraiser Lark Mason examined the set of cups used in ancient Chinese ceremonies and declared a value of $1 to $1.5 million for the group. It instantly became one of Roadshow's highest appraisals ever. The owner's face was priceless. I saw a mix of, did you say million? And maybe I shouldn't have kept these on a shelf at home. Mason's valuation turned international heads because Chinese art collectors highly prize rhino horn carvings, despite modern trade bans. After the show, we're not aware of an auction of this set. Likely the owner either cashed out quietly or secured them away for safekeeping. In any event, it highlights how a niche collecting passion, he just liked the cups, can turn into a retirement fund. As the appraiser joked, that's a pretty good return on investment for a collection originally bought for about $5,000 total. Cheers, but maybe don't actually drink from those. Number 5, Diego Rivera painting, $1 million. Sometimes great art hides in plain sight. In Corpus Christi, Texas in 2012, a man brought in a large oil painting that had hung behind a door in his house. It was signed by Diego Rivera, famed Mexican muralist. But could it be real? After authentication, appraiser Colleen Fesco confirmed it was a 1904 Rivera portrait titled El Albañil, the Bricklayer. She appraised it at $800,000 to $1 million. Boom. That door had been concealing a $1 million masterpiece. The painting had apparently been passed down in the family, but they never imagined its value. Post-show, the painting's value was updated in 2018 to $1.2 to $2.2 million retail. How's that for appreciation? The owner was reportedly considering selling it, given its newfound worth. If he did, he likely made out very well. High-end collectors or museums would drool over an early Rivera like that. From hanging behind a door to potentially hanging in a museum, what a journey, and a good reminder to check those signatures on your attic art. It might be a lost work by a master hiding in your home as casually as a coat rack. Number 4, Navajo Firstphase Chief's Blanket. $1,500,000. This is the Antiques Roadshow legend that everyone talks about. In 2001, on a roadshow in Tucson, Arizona, an unassuming gentleman brought in a Navajo Ute Firstphase Chief's Blanket circa 1850. It had been in his family. Rumor has it Kit Carson gave it to an ancestor, and he'd been using it literally as a throw on the back of a chair. Enter appraiser Donald Ellis, who immediately recognized it as one of the rarest and most sought-after Native American textiles. Ellis struggled to get the words out. Initially $350,000 to $500,000 value, but he quickly added, in today's market, it could be $750,000 to $1 million. The guest nearly fell over. The blanket story only got better. By 2016, the show updated its insurance valuation to $1.5 to $2 million. And then a similar Navajo Firstphase blanket from another family was actually sold at auction in 2017 for about $1.5 million, confirming that range. The original Roadshow owner, he decided to keep his heirloom, at least for a while, cherishing its legacy. There's even an incredible side note. Another man saw that episode, realized he had a similar blanket, and he ended up selling his for that $1.5 million sum, changing his life. Talk about a ripple effect. The Navajo blanket appraisal remains one of the most heartwarming Roadshow moments. The owner famously teared up, saying he'd take care of it forever. From draped on a chair to $1 million treasure, this blanket's journey is the definition of a holy grail find. Number 3, $3 yard sale Chinese bull by Chinese. $2,225,000. Not every blockbuster antique story happens on TV. One unfolded in a New York yard sale. In 2007, a family paid $3 for a small ivory-colored ceramic bowl at a tag sale, thinking it was pretty. It sat on their mantle for a few years. Something made them curious enough to get it checked out. Surprise, it turned out to be a 1,000-year-old ding bowl from China's Northern Song Dynasty. Sotheby's put it in their 2013 auction with a modest estimate of $200,000 to $300,000. But when the dust settled, this little 5-inch bowl sold for $2,225,000. Yes, over $2 million for a garage sale find. The buyer was famous London dealer Giuseppe Eskenazi, and the price shocked even the auctioneers. The only other known bowl of that type lives in the British Museum, which explains the bidding war. So what happened after? The lucky family got an enormous payday and likely a newfound respect for yard sales. The bowl presumably went into a top-tier private collection or museum via the dealer. This tale is basically Antiques Roadshow in real life. A humble item, an expert eye, and a life-changing sale. I can imagine the original yard seller seeing the news and having a classic facepalm moment. One person's knickknack became another person's multi-million-dollar treasure. Check your China cabinet, folks. On number 2, original Declaration of Independence print. $8,140,000. Here's a holy grail that gives me chills. In 1989, a Philadelphia man bought an old painting for $4 at a flea market because he liked the frame. When the artwork didn't fit his decor, he took it apart, and out fell a folded document. It looked old, really old. It was an original 1776 broadside printing of the Declaration of Independence, one of only 25 known to exist. Fast forward, he sold it in 1991 at auction for $2.4 million. Then the buyer, a company, flipped it in 2000 via an online Sotheby's auction, where TV producer Norman Lear purchased it for $7.4 million, about $8.14 million with commission. Lear and a business partner then took this document on a nationwide tour, sharing this piece of history with the public. It's now occasionally displayed for educational purposes, where it's truly the people's document. So what happened after is that this flea market find became one of the most valuable American documents ever sold and ended up serving as a traveling exhibit of democracy, not your typical auction tale. For context, that copy's last sale still holds the record for the priciest document sold online. And it all started behind a $4 frame. It's the kind of story every antique hunter dreams of, the ultimate jackpot, both in historical importance and dollar value. Number 1, Patek Philippe Assistant Pocket Watch, $2 million, updated Antiques Roadshow's crowning moment, literally one of the highest appraisals ever on the show, came from a ticking treasure. In 2004, a gentleman in St. Paul, Minnesota, brought in his great-grandfather's pocket watch, a splendid 1914 Patek Philippe gold pocket watch with chronograph and minute repeater. Initially, appraiser Paul Hartquist valued it around $250,000, which already made the owner's jaw drop. But here's the kicker. Over the years, as the market for fine watches exploded, that value kept climbing. In 2016, Roadshow revisited it and bumped the estimate to $1.5 million. Then in 2018, they updated it again to $2 million to $3 million. It became known as perhaps the most expensive item never praised on U.S. Antiques Roadshow. So, what happened after? The owner held on to it for a while, understandably stunned at this family heirloom's worth. In 2023, news broke that this very watch was consigned for sale, hoping to realize that multi-million price. Collectors worldwide had eyes on it since Patek watches are the gold standard, pun intended. If it sells on the high end, it could break records in the watch collecting world. Regardless, the Roadshow publicity already cemented its legendary status. This story shows how an item can appreciate over time, not just because it's old, but because tastes and markets change. That great-granddad's watch, once a cherished timepiece, turned into an investment that rivals a lottery win. Time is money, as they say. Bye. And in this case, timepiece was a lot of money. My sources for this piece were the PBS Antiques Roadshow, Los Angeles Times, Associated Press, Entertainment Weekly, and Daily Express. If you enjoyed this show, please subscribe for more.